Good day, YouTube. Today is September 9th, 2018. It's a Sunday. I'm at the car wash this morning, and not to wash my truck, although it could use washed, but actually picked up a project yesterday, and we're going to clean it up before we get too involved with it. And tell you a little bit about yesterday. I was DJing at our local downtown, what we call Antiques in the Streets, and associated with antique vendors downtown in our historic district. There's a car show every year, so I do music downtown for this event as a kind of as a volunteer situation. It's just a very good event for our town. It's very well attended, and it's just a lot of fun. A bunch of good folks put it on. So I get my system all set up and speakers working and everything pretty early. The vendors are starting to put all of their stuff out on the streets and tables and booths and so forth. And so I was walking the Antiques and stumbled upon something you don't necessarily find at antique shows, but this 1971 Honda Trail 70. I asked the guy what the story was about the Mini Trail 70, and he said his wife rode this motorcycle right into the side of the porch while she was pregnant with his son. She said she never wants to see this thing again. They shoved it off in the shed, and there it's been. Their son is now 31 years old. So it hasn't moved, hasn't done anything for 31 plus years. And I bought it from him for $250. It's been stripped of all of its electrics. But other than that, it's fairly complete. The left handlebar is jacked. There's a few other missing parts. But the engine, the exhaust, the wheels are all pretty good. A little surface rust here and there, but nothing serious. I believe it'll run. The engine's free. It's got good compression. And I thought, what the heck, 250 bucks? Actually, I walked off. I had to go to the ATM to get some cash for my wife, who was coming down to pick me up so I could get another vehicle for the day, because I was going to come and go. And then I did that and was on my way back. I said, I better get that before the crowds show up. And I'm walking down the street, and there's already two people plus one of their kids looking at this thing. And I'm like, oh, shoot. They can make a deal before I could get there. So I double timed it. I just walked up to the guy and said, I'll take it. And everybody left the bike alone and left me to purchase this thing. So 250 bucks. It's a good deal. These things go for, I've seen them for, in rough condition for $1,000, and real nice for up to $2,500, and a lot of them at $1,500 range. But I don't know if this will ever get to that point. I'm more interested in getting it running, and we'll get it cleaned up, and we'll take it from there. So without further ado, I'm going to fire up my, I got my little sprayer down there, hopefully not leaking. Yeah, with some cleaner in it. Buy it stuff by the gallon. You can put like Castrol Super Clean or something in a little sprayer. It saves you having to squirt the squirt bottle till your fingers fall off. And we'll get it cleaned up. We're going to take it to the shop, get it unloaded, and gosh, I just got to see if this thing runs. So that's the plan. It's actually pretty early. It's not even 7 o'clock yet, and I've been up for a little while. So alright, we'll check back with you shortly after we get it clean and get it unloaded. Alright, we got this little bike all cleaned up. I'm sure we increased its value by 10 bucks with a $3 investment at the car wash. So I topped off the oil. Oil that appeared on the stick is very clean. Either it was clean or all the dirt settled out to the bottom. And put some fuel in the fuel tank, and I see the carburetor's leaking. So picked out a little carburetor adjustment tool. See if we could change its attitude a little bit. maybe, maybe not. It's probably leaking worse. But we didn't figure we were going to get through this without having to take that carburetor apart, but let's see if it'll run. I know we got a valve on the carburetor that opens and closes fuel. What we got here? Let's see what happens. Haven't even checked for spark, so, and I don't think the throttle works. Alright, I'll pull the plug, check for spark. Okay guys, here's what I decided. I knew that all of the lights and so forth have been removed from this bike, and I assumed they probably removed the ignition switch and stuff too, but I peer down in there, and I'll bet the ignition switch is still hooked up. There is no other kill switch on it. So instead of trying to pull it out and Mickey Mouse it, I went on eBay, and there's a seller on eBay that can get you an ignition switch if you got the number. Will that focus that close? And there is a number on that switch. Will it focus? Maybe. Okay. It's a H45 something, 4 digits and a letter. So, the instructions when you get a switch, or excuse me, a key from this guy is you got to email him first and make sure he can cut the key. So I have done that, and I'll be waiting for an email response from this person, and hopefully he confirms he can cut the key, and then I'll get it ordered and I'll get the key, and then we'll proceed. I just don't see any need to hurry this little project. I just wait and get the appropriate key, and then we'll just turn on the ignition switch and hopefully miraculously get spark. That's the plan, folks. So this is a new project. They stack up like cordwood around here, but that's what keeps me going, so that's just fine. So I'll be kind of looking at parts and stuff online. First we'll get it going. We're not going to spend a bunch of money on it until we know that it's viable, because this thing is probably worth more in parts than it is altogether anyway. Then we'll get it running and so forth. The tires pumped up, they're holding air. They are tubed tires, so that's good. The rear has some cracking on one side where it's obviously set flat for decades, but they'll probably be just fine for a while. Clean up a little better than they are, and we'll go from there. So I will just end this video. Appreciate you guys watching, commenting, and subscribing. Sorry I haven't posted a video in a little while. Been fighting kind of a back injury, so I'm far from through it, but we'll just make a little progress here when we can. I get my back straightened up. We're just looking forward to fall and winter time. They're actually my favorite times of the year where I get to work on stuff like this. I DJ a whole lot less. It's kind of my off season. So here we go. Thank you guys again, and we'll catch you on the next one.